Good evening, campers, and welcome to the Angry Red Planet. Welcome to Mars. This is Surviving Mars, Paradox Interactive's space-based city building simulator, and I am going to give it a go. I've been trying this game out for a little bit over the past few months, experimenting a little bit, and I thought it'd be kind of fun to start building a city in a series. And so I'm going to start. This is going to be, at least for a little while, kind of an experimental series, and we're going to build Bristol Colony, managed by the International Mars Mission. Our colony logo here is the super cool Final Countdown logo, and yes, we're gonna start out low as far as the difficulty on this one, since it's kind of my it's not my first city that I've built in this game, but it's kind of my first purposely built city, if that makes any sense. So this is the dawn of Bristol Colony. The Starship Revelation will be taking our mechanical building utilities to the Angry Red Planet, where we will be building a brand new colony and seeking to expand humanity's place among the stars. This is our colony site, kind of on the kind of nondescript location. Got plenty of resources. It's relatively flat, and yeah, let's go ahead and get to the action and see how it works. And as with my other playthroughs, like in Stellaris and other games, this one is unabridged, unedited. You're going to see every button press and every decision that is made. So if the colony dies in just a few sols, you will see why it happened. And each one of these episodes, probably give or take a few minutes, probably not going to be more than an hour at a time as we expand our city. So we've got Mission Control is impatient to see our rocket touch down on the red planet. Now, one of my biggest gripes about this game, and I'll go ahead and get it out of the way, is this pop-up. There's no way to hide this interface. So basically, anytime you hover over something, you get a tooltip, and it just really gets in the way. But we've got orbital probes, and so we are going to scan and see what we can find.
Anomaly found.
Okay. And we found water. Very nice. Water and concrete. And metals. Okay. And so now that we've kind of found where we want to be, and I think we're going to set down here. This is going to be our landing site. But we'll go ahead and start setting up a survey queue. And so as we build sensor towers to improve the quality of our scanning, these will actually go faster. But for now, yeah, they're going to be kind of slow. So we're going to go down here, and I'm picking this region because of the water deposit. So that's really my my primary motivating factor here. Let's see here. So I think this will get us started. So here comes our Revelation rocket, the first robotic servants that are going to help us build our new colony on Mars. Excellent. So they are here. So there's our utility vehicles. So this is our drone RC commander, which will allow us to extend our drone's area of operations a little bit. We've got a collector here, which is a transport, which we can use to collect and move resources as necessary. And then we've got our RC Explorer, which is going to go out right now and start scanning anomalies, because scanning anomalies grants us bonuses. I think that's good for now. So let's go ahead and start with our production. We need to build a concrete extractor. So this to be our first. And then we need, that's right, we bought an advanced Stirling generator with us. It's going right here. And then what I have started doing with the few experimental cities I've built is, so I kind of built this, like, this service stack here. So we're going to have a concrete extractor, a Stirling generator, whether it's the advanced type or the regular type, and then a sensor tower that will help us to, one, increase the speed of our scanning, and also to warn us of any impending dangers. So because this is my first recorded playthrough for this game, I'm going to explain a little bit about what's going on. Now you'll notice that the drones here, which they are really cool, by the way. Let's just take a quick look at them. Those dudes are super cool. Anyway, you'll notice that the concrete extractor is collecting resources while the generator was just built straight out. That's because the generator came prefabricated. So you can order prefabricated buildings and the drones will just basically plop them down on the ground. The concrete extractor has to be built along with a bunch of other stuff. So like the sensor tower will also need to be constructed as well. And I got a notice about research. So we are going to, actually before I do that, I want to check. I think we got, yes, we got a forestation plant. Yes, so we got some of our terraforming equipment prefabricated. So that's brilliant. One of the things I eventually want to do is to terraform Mars. And you either have to research that technology through the technology tree, or you have to buy the prefab buildings as part of the bonus for getting to the planet. So let's go with engineering first. That's good. So with that, and then we'll make terraforming last. We'll add it to the list of items that we want to research, because we do want to work down the terraforming tree. So let's see what we got here. So we've got concrete here, concrete. We've got some precious metals laying around, so that's nice. We need a depot. So let's go ahead and build some universal depots here. We'll just build a couple so that the drones can start unloading the ship. And a lot of tooltips, a lot of instructional pop-ups in this game, which is good, I'll admit, for the starting player. But for somebody if you've played this game a couple of times, you really start to lose the utility of those pop-ups. And it would be nice if they would go away, but they won't. And that's the last I'll say about that. So, as we're getting set up here, you'll notice if you've ever seen or played the Tropico series, you're going to notice a lot of the interface controls are somewhat similar to Tropico. Well, that's because this game was designed by some of the team members that built, I think it was Tropico 4 and 5, maybe 3 as well. But so you'll see a lot of times when you select, you'll see a lot of some of the basic controls, especially when it comes to shift controlling and managing personnel and resources for different productions. So, all right. So let's go ahead and let's get our water extractor in place. And what we'll end up doing is we have to build our life support first. We won't build a dome or anything related to the immediate arrival of the colonists until we've built a sturdy life support system. And so with water deposit here, and that's nice. And actually, I meant to build a landing pad.
Anomaly analyzed. Milestone achieved.
Milestone achieved. So we'll put the rocket pad right here with the expectation that I guess we'll be building our colony kind of in this area. This region here we will clear out eventually because I'm sure we'll be working back this way with other supporting equipment. What was our milestone? Oh yeah. So we got a bunch of milestones here, and with each milestone it gets us additional science credit. All right. So we are producing concrete now. And concrete is being delivered to our water extractor, which we are going to disable because a lot of the new buildings and the new equipment, we want to disable it so that it's not wearing down. And for the playthrough, in the background, you're going to hear various sounds, various music playing that I've overlaid. But in the actual game, you have radio stations. So you can choose a variety of radio stations to keep you occupied as you're occupying Mars. And by the way, I highly recommend the Free Earth channel, which is basically a surfing radio station in space, and it's really cool. I think they might have stopped building that since I messed with it. So we need 10 concrete for that. So I need them to... Let me go ahead and try to place the dome. Did we bring... Let's see here. So we did. So we got a prefabbed self-sufficient dome setup, which is nice. And trying to decide what's blocking it. Oh, so we'll wait until our drones have cleared out this metal here, and then we'll be able to go in and install our prefab dome setup, which is really nice. Okay, I think they got it all. So we're still waiting on 2 concrete there and 8 concrete there. Let's go ahead and set up our self-sufficient dome. And let's put the Moxie... Yeah, so let's make the Moxie close to the water supply. There we go. That is it. The first dome of Bristol Colony laid down. Or at least the plans for it.
Our initial spectrographic analysis confirmed it. Chromium.
Chromium.
To find such a rich deposit of such a rare metal. Important was an understatement.
So we've got chromium. So we're going to decide here. Deep rare metals deposit. Let's go with that. It's yeah, and it had to be so far away. So with the rare metals deposits, like that one over there, there has to be a dome close to it because there's a rare metals extractor, which is actually a factory that you build. And so, yeah, we'll have to work on that. We can just set this to a high priority. Oh, our water extractor is going up. Excellent. So, and anything that is high, that is critical to life support. So your water extractors, moxies, stuff like that. We want to set it to high priority, but we're going to turn this one off for now. We don't want it being a drain on anything at the moment. And there goes our dome. The first habitat here at Bristol. And it will be empty for a while as we start building more of the life support network. And as soon as I feel more comfortable that the life support network is safe and secure, we will start building some buildings inside of it and preparing it for the arrival of our first colonists. And there's kind of a protocol that you have to go through in this game for the first colonists that arrive, and we'll talk about that once they're on their way.
Sector scanned.
So buildings are not working, obviously, we know that. Let's see how far out our drones are working. Let's see if we can go. I don't know if it'll go that far or not. Because now that our dome is going up and we're going to have the first of our equipment that's available, we want to start prepping for our colony by designing our power supply. So we have three main resources that are key to the survival of our colony. We've got power, life support, which consists of oxygen, and water. So if you run out of those three, one of those three, your colony is pretty much toast. So we'll turn all of these buildings off at the moment. So let's start building our wind turbines. So I build a combination of wind turbines and power capacitors. Research cooperations. Ooh. Some extra resources would be nice. Oh, we've got a support pod coming in. These are cool. Make a little bit of a mess, but they're okay.
Research complete. Milestone achieved.
All right. Here's our dome.
Anomaly analyzed.
And I'm going to turn it off as well. But we're going to change the design. So there's a couple of different designs you can pick from. That one's cool, but so that's the plain one. This is the Stellaris version. It's kind of, I think it's the Stellaris DLC that you can get for the game. And then this one, but we're going to go with this design. So all of our domes are going to have kind of this star-like design for them. And now we've got our first, the first components of our power supply system going up. So in a lot of these games, you want to make sure that you kind of want to wait until your workers are done building one one device before you start building something else. But in the case of power, it's such a critical thing that I tend to just go ahead and at least throw down the first row of windmills and the first row of capacitors so that all of the work can get started with that. And there's our support pod, as you can see. Brought us some resources. And resources in this game are represented by these little blocks here. So you can actually go in and see the different resources that you have in this game. It's really cool. And there's our little dude walking away with walking away with this stuff. And then we're going to reclaim the probe itself and gain some additional materials. So we gain metals. All right. So let's go with low G high rises because we definitely need that. Even in the middle game, because you're going to need colonists. You're going to need a lot of colonists to come and be part of the adventure here on Mars. Because as you noticed, everything here takes resources. However, there's another kind of caveat to it. Everything takes resources to maintain. So this building takes one machine part to be serviced and maintain itself, even when it's off. So it's not the functional aspect of the device that wears it. It's just kind of the Martian atmosphere that wears on the materials. So you need colonists to come to Mars to run the fuel factories and to run the electronics factories and all the stuff that keeps the robotics that work outside actually working. So let's see here. So we're almost done there. So we're looking good here. Do we have any more prefabs that we need to put down? I'm pretty sure. No, we don't. I thought we brought a fuel refinery with us, but I guess not. Because we definitely need a fuel refinery. Do we have what kind of supply? Okay, so we'll call a rocket here in a few minutes. There, our first windmill is up. So we are generating power on Mars for the first time ever. And this little section of the colony is going to kind of form the basis for our life support
Sector scanned.
electricity infrastructure. So let's start putting some water towers down. So I'll put 3 of these here. And then I'll put some of these drones that are sitting around to work. So we'll need a couple of connections for these. We'll need pipes. So we have infrastructure pipes that can carry fuel, oxygen, and water, all in the same pipes. That's pretty remarkable. Oh, another. Let's go with this style. I like that style. So a lot of buildings will have alternate appearances. So like the water towers, they can be black or white. Same thing with the air supply, and then the Moxie has one as well. It's just kind of the same as the dome. water towers and our water setup to power. Yeah, I guess that'll do for now. We can make changes to the layout later if we need to. Biggest thing is it's not going to work until this windmill and this power accumulator are finished. And again, I set all of these. I set anything that's high priority. I set everything that's life support based to high priority. Other stuff can wait. But if that technology's job is to support the life of the colony, then turn this stuff back on, because now we want to start getting an idea of how we're doing in our power generation. We're not generating anything at this point. It's going to take a little while because we need we're going to need probably 8 to 12 windmills to get started. I'll throw down a couple of solar generators as well. And redundancy is key on Mars from what I've found out playing. We want to make sure that we've got enough power in another area in case this one goes down. So we've got, so we're going to start getting notices that our oxygen and our water is low, but that's okay because none of these guys drink or eat or breathe. There goes our third windmill. Nice. Our power grid is generating. It's just not going anywhere. So let's go ahead and order a resupply rocket. We need machine parts. Those are kind of the... let's order 2 more drones. Okay. That's a good amount of resources. And then metals. And then... oh. Let's go back. I don't think... yeah, there we go. So I need a fuel refinery. And... let's dial it back on these so that we can bring us... oh, I thought I was going to get a fuel refinery. Polymers. I need a polymer factory. There we go. All right. And call this the Exodus. So now the Exodus will appear here very soon, and we will land it and be able to use it to set up additional buildings. This particular mission has a huge budget, so ordering a rocket from Earth to help support our efforts really is not a big investment.
Sector scanned.
Few anomalies found. So let's go over here and so we got that anomaly. Is that all of it? Well, I guess so. It's kind of a view of our colony from the distance. Looking nice. Small and not really connected very well, but that will change. And our rocket here, it's refueling, and eventually it will refuel and we will send it back to Earth. And rockets in this game are obviously inspired by SpaceX because they are reusable. So when we send this rocket back to Earth, we could restock it, and it will bring good stuff back to us. Let's turn the dome on, even though we don't really have any life support to give to it at the moment. Oh. We can go ahead, though, even though we're waiting on power. And we got 2 accumulators going up. That's good. So for our life support, let's start building our pipe network. And it's not always going to be pretty. The colony is going to take on a heavy industrial look to it, especially when you see the pipe system start to go up. But it's a retro future look, so it's like really nice, clean pipes, at least for the most part. So we're starting to see, and one of the things I like about the vehicles and the objects that we build in the game is that they're somewhat functional. So like these accumulators, they will grow. So they actually grow out of the ground the more they are charged. And then the water towers kind of have a similar feature. This blue indicator on the side actually tells you how much water is inside the tank. So as it fills up, you'll see the blue indicator move to the top of the tank. And so you have a pretty good idea of how your water supply is going. And then, let's see here. Let's make my view here right. So I'm going to put... We also need additional oxygen tanks, because that's not going to be enough. I like to have at least 3 to start off. Because having the tanks allows us to stockpile additional resources in the event of a power failure or a natural disaster. Assuming that those resources aren't destroyed, we'll have enough water or power or oxygen or whatever it is to supply us until a rescue rocket can arrive. These are pretty easy to build. Just a couple of metals, and our resupply rocket is 36% to Mars. That's nice. And we should start seeing... oh, there we go. We should start seeing power generation at this point. Although I'm not sure if it flows through the tanks. I might have to run the cable. Yeah, let's run the cable a little bit. So that should get the water accumulator running. With our little drone boys up there ready to go. So there goes the last cable. And there, our water extractor has started running.
Research complete.
And you'll see that very slowly we are increasing our water capabilities. Initially, I like to focus on stuff that can help us immediately. Social, the social research and everything, it's okay. So let's go, we need more pipes.
Resources are low.
Yeah, we know. Let's wait till this one's done, and we can just connect all three of them. Because we actually are going to need to connect them to... extend our power supply as well. Oh, whoops. Hey, that's not what I wanted. And if all goes well, hey, that actually turned out all right. I like how that kind of loops around. So there is the first part of our life support system. Tank over here to assist that one. Nice. And it's dirty because it's out of power, so there's no power, there's no oxygen, which is a great indicator, by the way. It's a great way to see immediately by visual effect if your dome is not functioning properly. Got more parts of our life support system going up. There's the pipe system, the last parts of it. So it'll connect the water and the MOXIE systems together. So those pipe indicators should go away.
Sector scan.
I guess there's one more spot that is going to go up. There we go. All right. And we've got power. Notice both of our water accumulator or moisture evaporators have come online. Excellent. And we should be showing it's not connected. That's odd. If we add, well, that didn't do any good. No. Let's just add a bunch of pipes and see what happens. Got a nice view of our newly illuminated dome. First active life support system on Mars here. Ready, almost ready for human colonization. So let's see what we got here. So we've got oxygen production. And again, we'll be paying a lot of attention to these screens here in particular. So our oxygen production is at 3. Demand's at 1, water production is at 5, demand is at 1. So that excess water And that
Anomaly
excess
found.
oxygen is going to be stored. So you can see here the little blue indicator as it's climbing due to...
Resources are low.
Yeah, of course it is, because we just started generating it. So let's see if this fixes that pipe indicator over there. It's a little cluttered, but if it works. There we go. So those Moxie, those air tanks weren't connected to the water tank and the Moxie itself. So let's do this. Let's go ahead. Build our next. Build our next set of windmills. And our resupply rocket should be arriving soon. We're also going to lay down... Let's move this out of the way. Just a little bit. We'll lay down some small solar panels. Solar panels are okay. Obviously, they only work during the day, so that makes them very inefficient for continuous power generation. Windmills are good because they're constantly spinning. Rocket has arrived, so let's let it land, and we can start removing some of the equipment it's brought. So what I like to do is to kind of diversify what I'm building in terms of the power. So I'll build an array of solar panels, and then I'll build a windmill array so that I've got a mixture of the two. And here comes the Exodus, bringing prefabricated buildings and critical supplies that we need to keep building our infrastructure. A couple more drones. So we've got polymers, electronics, and machine parts coming on this one. Oh yeah, I've got more moisture vaporizers that I need to set up. And that's a prefab building, so they should just, at some point, one of the little drones will go over and just set it up. So we're producing a little bit of oxygen. And production will go up as our power increases. Remember, this is a survival game in a sense, but it's also a city builder. So there's a design element to it. We're building this with sustainability in mind, but also we want it to look cool. That's why I'm putting the solar panels where they are, just kind of along the electrical line, because it looks cool. And then I stagger the windmills and the capacitors. We're not generating nearly enough power to be bringing humans to Mars at the moment. However, we will start building buildings very soon. So I think once the solar array is done and the next 2 windmills are done, I think that's enough to start building, putting buildings together inside the dome, so that we get a good idea of what we're missing in terms of our resources and what we need to bring and what we need to focus on as far as our tech research going forward. All right. Looking good.
Sector scanned.
More anomalies have been found. So we've got quite a few out here. Where is our scanner? Where's our transport? Is that it there? Yeah. So scan that one. And that one. So queue up some anomaly research here. I thought there was more than that, but I guess not. And what's really cool is that all of this land, all of this here is ready for us to take. So, I mean, we're starting here kind of because this is where the primary resources are for us to get started. But I mean, we've got the whole planet, this whole region, to be able to take when we're ready. All right, so we've got one more windmill. Oh, look, our solar arrays are done. For the most part, we've got one left. And we've got one windmill left. Looking good. Oh, and there's our last solar panel going up. So now we are generating 96.8 with a demand of 44, which is really good because that's going to fill up our power accumulators pretty quickly. All right, and so let's see here. Let's go ahead and start putting some buildings inside of our domes. We need a living complex, which is critical for our colonists to have somewhere to live. So there's that. And then we need a research lab, because that will help to boost our research. So we need a diner. So that our folks can eat. And all of these are going to start being a drain on our resources. So once we kind of commit to building these parts of the colony, we got to press forward. Let's go with our grocer here. So I can put that over there. Yeah, there we go. So we'll put that over there. Then we need oh, whoops. I didn't bring one of those. Oh, but we do need a fuel refinery, so let's go ahead and put the fuel refinery here. And then there will need to be a polymers factory, which we will do later. So I forgot to bring an electronics factory, which is fine. We can always go back and
Research complete.
get more of those. So let's go ahead and put a school there. What are we doing on our research? Looking good. So, which is it kind of sucks because we already have this technology, but you know, we have to research it to get it out of the tree. So there's that. And then we want to connect it to the life support system. So this is a fuel refinery, and so it will help to create rocket fuel so that our rockets can get back to Earth faster. So, oh, there goes our first dome building here at Bristol. Nice. Not gonna lie, I love the retro future design of these living quarters. The actual style was one of the huge draws for me to this game initially. Almost done 3D printing the trees. Another drone has joined the construction efforts. And a lot of these buildings have... So this is what I was talking about, like if you're familiar with Tropico, it has kind of the same setup. And these buildings have the same feature to where you can change their layout and their colors design. So we're going to go with... There it is. We're going to go with this design. I like this. Mainly because it matches the overall aesthetic of the dome itself. And we are currently generating... Let's check out our power generation here real quick. So our power generation is looking good. We're just on the edge of what we need to keep everything fueled. And we need some... We need some more universal depots. I think this would be a good location for them. That way, the drones can get to, can put resources there that they can get to if they need them. Oh, they're going to have to move those, that waste rock first. That's right. And then we have a prefab for a drone hub, which I'm not sure. I guess I could put it here. Yeah, let's do that. So I know it's kind of cluttered, but we can think of this as the industrial district of the colony. Bristol Industrial District, but we do need that drone controller. So that'll take some of the pressure off of the RC controller and off of the rockets themselves. And we've just entered into Sol 5. So we have been on Mars for 5 days. 5 Earth days by our timeline, and we have built some incredible things in just that short amount of time. And you can see here as we're growing resources, there's the water. So you can see our water level is about half for that, which is good. Things are getting dirty, so they're not as pristine as they were before. That's normal. And that's really just... Oh, and also, you see here, we are approaching maintenance. So 64% of maintenance requirement
Sector scanned.
for that tank. Maintenance can be pretty freaking expensive in this game. There's a creative option if you're interested in just building a city with really no disasters or anything. Because, oh yeah, by the way, this is a city builder, so there are natural disasters. There are tornadoes and asteroids and cold fronts and a number of other things that are tailor-made to try to kill our colony that will be coming. And up goes our drone controller. Looking good. Nice. And it's online. And it's got a couple of different designs, but I like the big one. Oh, and there goes our research lab. So it's going up. So our research lab is up. And it won't be long before our diner starts going up. A couple of our other buildings. What are we doing on fuel? So we'll go there. Just my opinion, but one of the best and most important technologies to research early in this game is fuel consumption. Because without the fuel consumption research, a rocket can take, I think it takes 50. So it takes a 50 unit of fuel, which if you do the research, it drops it down to 30. So much less fuel needed to get your rockets off the ground and get them back to Earth so that you can get more resources out here in deep space. Now that we've got our our drone control area has just expanded significantly, and one of the reasons I wanted to do that is because we are going to need another landing pad over here for our rocket, and this is going to be kind of our passenger rocket landing area. Because we're going to need a place where our colonists can jump out of the rocket and run into their new home. So he's carrying one metal.
Anomaly found.
So another anomaly, huh? Ah, we got more water up here. Nice. So there we go. Add a few more of those to our research and scanning queue. So there is an overview of Bristol Colony after Sol 5. So we have life support functioning and effective life support. We have power generating really well. We've almost got our capacitors charged. Oh, and one other thing, if you noticed down on the bottom there, it says stored power lasts. That is a godsend in this game, because it's nice to know that in the event that there was a catastrophe that destroyed the life support system, I've got 4 days to fix it before the oxygen runs out, based on current consumption. So it's a little bit of a buffer. Power's a little different. Power can, because it takes a lot more to store up enough power for it to last for days. Oh, and our diner's gone up now. So we have our diner for our colonists when they get here shortly. Nice. And next up we'll be seeing deposits for the school. And I think that is where we are going to stop for this episode. Thank you for joining me. I'm Commander Exorcist. This is Surviving Mars, Bristol Colony, Part 1, Sol 5. We do not have humans on Mars yet, but our little robot friends have been doing exceptionally well, building the future of the human race on the Angry Red Planet. Wonder what kind of strange and crazy things await us. Will our colony survive, or is it just going to turn into Martian dust? Who knows, but we'll find out next time. Thanks for joining me. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you out there. Good night.